Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm meadsy69. Welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to take another look at the T100 Lite. Is this still the best light tank in tier 10? I would probably say so, yes. Of course, you have the Sheridan and you have the Vickers. Now, are both of them tanks better than the T100? I wouldn't say they are. The Sheridan obviously is a fun tank still to play. It's always going to be a fun tank. It's something different when it comes to light tanks in tier 10 especially. But I've still got to give the crown of best light tanks to the T100 Lite. Of course, it did get nerfed in the previous updates, but it is still a super strong tank for what it is. So you're looking at 210 millimeters of turret armor. It's not a lot, it's not the best, but for a light tank in tier 10, you can still get those troll bounces. If you hold down, you can still get those troll bounces. If you're using the gun depression, then yeah, you can actually get some bounces. So the DPM is still 3,156. So if you look at that compared to what it used to be, yes, it has lost a bit of DPM, around 300 to 400 DPM that this tank has lost when it was nerfed, but still 3,156 DPM for a light tank, I still think it is really, really good because it's still got the mobility, and that's what a light tank is. The light tank has never been about DPM. That's what medium tanks are for. So light tanks have always been about, you know, the mobility of the tank, go and spot a tank, relocate as soon as you can, and then just you can decide what you want to do there. You can bully the team, and then again you can relocate very, very easy. But this still has it all. This still has that DPM. Reload is 5.8 seconds, which is not a lot for a light tank. Penetration 240 on your AP, 290 on your AP as well, your premium AP, and 50 on your HE. So even though you've only got 3,100 DPM, I would strongly recommend to run it with calibrated shells. But I don't really, myself, I don't run it with calibrated shells because I don't want to be in front of the enemy. I've got the mobility, I've got the speed, I've got everything I need to get around the enemy. And when you're running it with calibrated shells, I know you're not losing too much, but in fact, you're actually losing 221 DPM if you're running it with calibrated shells, which is quite a lot, to be honest. What's better, 200 DPM or an extra 15 pen? So if this tank had heat, then I would probably strongly recommend running it with calibrated shells because you'd get more 10% higher for heat shells. But because it's got AP, I would just run it with the DPM, with the gun rammer, because that 221 DPM, it is something. So let's just have a look at some games and let's talk about the tank whilst on the battlefield. So, when you are using a light tank, how I find it best to play, obviously, I like the rush. I love the rush gameplay. It just makes for fantastic gameplay, and it's a lot more enjoyable to play the game when you can play it like this. And this is what you're going to see in pretty much both of these replays. You can see here a bat chat. We've got our guys, this guy in front, the T22 is pushing, so why not? There's no one with him at the moment. Why not push with him and clear this bat chat as soon as possible? And then if we manage to clear the bat chat, there is also a Sheridan there. So now the Sheridan, the Sheridan and the bat chat can also do the rush job. You know, the Sheridan can rush in, get a big amount of damage, a high alpha damage, and then run away. But the only thing with the Sheridan is then you've got quite a bit of time for your next reload. And the same with the bat chat. The same with the bat chat, where you can run in, take your 3 shells, and then get the hell out of there. This never has to get the hell out of there, because it's always got that reload, and because of the DPM, it honestly does make for a fun tank to play when you do the rush job. I mean, here, just over a minute gone, we've already got rid of the 2 light tanks, and we're almost getting rid of the TVP here. So I know he's on a reload, he's running away, I know he's on a reload, so of course with my mobility, I am going to chase him down. We do manage to get that shot into him, and he is actually, I mean, the TVP has the mobility of a light tank, so I'm not expecting to be able to catch him up, because he does around about the same speed. But I'm still going to chase him, and this is the kind of gameplay I love when it works out. So you can see 2 tanks down at the minute, and finally the TVP does die. But again, once he dies, once the target you go for has gone, you can just rush in to your next target. And this, for me, is the 113. He's gone, then we can use our mobility. Well, this, we don't really need the mobility because the tank is right here. We can then push forward and go for the other tank. Now, I love this kind of gameplay, and it's the kind of gameplay you can't really do in a tank destroyer. You can't really do in most heavy tanks, just light tanks and medium tanks, to be honest. But when you've got a light tank that can do just about anything that a medium tank can do, but better, because it has the view range. It's a very low to the ground tank as well, like very, very low to the ground. There's no turret really on it. The turret's quite strong, but because it's so low to the ground, you can use those dead tanks for your advantage as well. You could hide behind them, and again, like I said, you could use it, and they're not going to be able to shoot over the top of that tank. So yeah, it does have its some of its advantages. And again, this game here, we're going to flank around the whole map. We do manage to get some shots in. And you also got to remember that it has the special ability where you shoot a tank and that tank stays spotted for pretty much double the time. So yeah, you've got to remember that this tank still does have that. So every shot that I'm taking onto the enemy team, that they're going to stay spotted for double the amount of time. You can see that little light bulb in the middle there. That's because I got shot from the enemy T100, so I'm going to stay spotted for the double amount of time. So yeah, it's pretty much the only tank in the game, apart from the Tier 9, that does have this ability, which is pretty cool. At first, I didn't think it would be that great. I mean, it's okay. I can't really see too many advantages from it at the moment. Since I've been playing the T100 or playing the game, I can't really tell if it's actually making a massive difference. You guys might say that this ability is too overpowered. I'm not really seeing it when it comes to the T100 Lite. So we're going to get rid of the IS-4 there. And again, then we're going to use our mobility to just run around the map and just bully the team. And when you could do 388 damage as well in a light tank with just 5 seconds reload, that is pretty good. I know it was a high roll, but yeah, even after the nerf, people are saying that this tank isn't what it used to be. Of course it's not what it used to be, but it's not that far off. It's lost 300 DPM, for God's sake. That's basically it. It is still a fantastic light tank, and still, in my opinion, the best light tank in Tier 10. So let me know your thoughts on the T100 Lite. Do you still love this tank even after the nerf? Hope you enjoyed the video, guys. I'm meadsy69, and I'll catch you all soon. Bye-bye.
With